Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्णा। सभी भक्त जनों को मेरा आदर पूर्वक प्रणाम। Welcome to this Japa session. So today's topic for Japa is like adding taste to your Japa. How can you add taste to your Japa? So before we start, to a small player. ज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा, सबको मेरा प्रणाम। मैं बता रहा था कि कैसे हम अपने जप को एक स्वाद लाए। वी नो देयर आर जो भी जपा करते हैं, बहुत सारे भक्त लोग होते हैं। जैसे कि हमारा कांग्रेगेशन में ही हम तीन तरह का डिवोटीज देख सकते हैं। एक डिवोटी को बोलते हैं कि नियोफाइट डिवोटी, वन हु इज वेरी न्यू to Krishna consciousness. He just has actually come into this Krishna consciousness. And then there are other devotees who are practicing devotees, and there are other devotees who are pure devotees of the Lord. So if you see, for a neophyte, one who has actually been introduced, he may not have so much taste in chanting. We have heard this famous dialogue from Prabhupada. So where there is an old man and an old lady sitting, and the lady is saying to the old man, chant, chant, chant. He says, no, can't. So when we come early, like we always, our mind feels like, and the mind doesn't actually observe the process of chanting. It actually says, no, I can't. But as we go on progressively, then as a practicing devotee, so we develop the process of chanting. Sometimes as a practicing devotee, we do our japa as a duty, or because we have taken the vow of doing 16 rounds, we do it. It becomes like a mechanical process for a practicing devotee. On the other hand, there are few devotees of the Lord who actually develop the taste to chant more and more the names of the Lord. We can see from the example of Namacharya, like Haridas Thakur. He was actually always dedicated chanting. Every time, every moment, he was actually involved in tasting the nectar of the holy name. So first we should know that where we are standing. So we are all practicing devotees, and being a practicing devotee, we should think like, how can we add taste to our japa. Just like जब भी हम भोग ऑफर करते हैं भगवान को, तो भोग कब स्वाद होगा? The भोग becomes स्वाद, gets its taste when we add salt to it, and then when we offer it to the Lord. So that's when it becomes prasad. And without salt, like nothing tastes better. So this acronym I heard from one of the lectures from one of the devotees. So we can use this acronym to actually increase the taste of our japa. So the salt, नमक को कैसे डालते हैं भोग को और उसको ऑफर करते हैं भगवान को, जो कि स्वाद देता है, ऐसे ही हमारा जपा में भी इस नमक को डालना है. So that acronym is called salt. So what is this salt? So the first letter S. So S starts with sacred space. So जब भी जप करते हैं, we have to ensure that we have a sacred place, not only externally but actually internally. The more important, one way is like, okay, finding a place where you are very peaceful, you are getting no disturbance, no distractions. That is externally, that is okay. But the other important space that I am talking is the sacred space within the heart of our within our heart. So that is more important than the external space. So we should keep our heart clean, very clean. So what I mean about clean? So the cleaning of our heart means we should actually try within our heart to stop finding fault with the devotees, and then actually, so this is a common thing that which we have, especially when we are associating with the devotees. We get more familiar with devotees, and we have a natural attraction towards finding fault towards devotee, which is actually one of the dust in our heart. So we should ensure that we don't actually engage in the practice of finding fault with the devotees. And in turn, when you want to exchange this thing with a new thing, so you need something to be given to the mind. So one way of exchanging this fault finding is to add the showing of gratitude towards Krishna. Maybe if you are not able to show gratitude towards a devotee, you can show gratitude towards Krishna. So how we can do it? कैसे कर सकते हैं gratitude? We should inculcate this habit of gratitude in every part of our life. So, for example, a small thing you are going to do, and then you have done it successfully, then immediately show that gratitude to Krishna. Oh Krishna, thank you because of your uh, involvement. I actually finished this work nicely, properly. Suppose you are searching for some pen or pencil and you got it immediately, so you immediately think, oh Krishna, I got this pen nicely. I got this pencil. I did this work nicely because of you. I engaged in the service because nicely because of you. So every time we remember Krishna, that gratitude, showing of gratitude naturally comes into our heart. So by practicing this art of gratitude towards Krishna, thanking him every time for the activities that we perform successfully, we can slowly cleanse our heart with the dirt that is accumulated, and remove the habit of finding faults with devotees. So the first part of the taste is salt, is yes, that is sacred space that is within our heart. So the second part is the A, salt. The S is finished. Let's go to the A. So what is A? A is accepting and being aware of our weaknesses. So again, I will repeat, A is accepting and being aware of our weaknesses. So it is very, very important and essential that for a devotee, one should know that this is my area of weakness. Without knowing that, it's very, very difficult for us to progress, and we have to accept it so that we can overcome it. If we don't accept it, it's very, very difficult to overcome that. So what I mean by accepting and being aware of our consciousness, क्या इसका मतलब है? So इसका मतलब यही है कि हमारा भक्त होने का मेन उद्देश्य है कि हम सभी गोलोक वृंदावन को जाना चाहते हैं। पर गोलोक वृंदावन किधर है? क्या है गोलोक वृंदावन? ये हमें पता है? Like we don't know, we are not aware of what is Golok Vrindavan. There is one saying from Mullah that like once he asked one of them to actually go and actually find the sun, and he goes out and then he says, "Oh, I am not able to find any sun. There is complete darkness." Then he says, "Okay, I will give you a torch. Take this torch and go and find the sun." And that person goes. He couldn't find. Why? Because he doesn't know what is sun. How can somebody take a torch and find sun? We naturally know when sun comes, there is going to be light, right? So, but when a first person doesn't know what is a sun, how can he find out? Very difficult to find out. So, similarly, we don't know what is Golok Vrindavan. So, and having such a goal will become very, very big task for us. And for a human being, for a person, having big goals, like it becomes very, very difficult to achieve it. And naturally, we are very close to material life, and naturally, our intent will be towards uh, getting more close towards material life. So, how to overcome it? A better way to overcome it is having a smaller goals. For example, like chanting the names of the Lord, trying to hear the names of the Lord. Maybe in a day, maybe 5 times I will hear the names of the Lord properly. Maybe I am chanting 4 rounds. I will chant this 4 rounds properly. So keep some small goals within yourself, and then try to achieve that goal. For example, reading for 10 minutes, hearing from Prabhupada for 5 minutes. To keep such small goals, and then when we try to attain that goals, we become happy that we have attained it, and then we can progress towards our real goal. So that is the second part, that is A. The third part is L, that is listening to the mantra. So as I said earlier, listening to the mantra is very very important, because listening, why are we listening to this mantra? Because we want to establish a relationship with Krishna. So क्यों हम ये जब 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 करते हैं, ये भगवान का नाम को सुनते हैं? क्योंकि हमें भगवान से एक संबंध बनाना है। जैसे हम किसी कोई आपका बहुत important person is there, for example your husband or a wife, and you have a very intimate relationship with them, and imagine that वो बात कर रहे हैं, आपका हस्बैंड या वाइफ बात कर रहे हैं और आप नहीं सुन रहे हैं, तो कैसा लगेगा उन्हें? They feel very like this person is not listening to me, right? If you are very attracted, then you actually will listen more to them. So similarly, to increase our relationship with कृष्णा, to हमारा संबंध को बढ़ाने के लिए हमें भगवान का नाम को जप करना है। To hear and listen the names of the Lord is very very important. So how we can practice it? We can have, again as I said earlier, to have small goals. At least one mala I will properly listen, or at least one name, one complete 16 syllable mantra I will listen properly. So by that way, we can achieve it easily, and then try to increase it step by step. Okay, that is L part. The last part is the T. So T is the time. So most of the time, like being a grihastha, we are actually engaged with so much of the duties. So grihastha होने के कारण हमें बहुत सारा काम है, like सुबह माता जी को सुबह उठते ही they have to prepare breakfast for their these things. They have to clean the house. They have to go for work. Then they have to engage in the devotional services practices, also some services also. So many things are there for us to do. So sometimes when chanting, we are actually more watching towards the time, and then trying to increase or fasten our chanting. Right. So this is one factor. So when we are increasing, when we are trying to establish our relationship, every time when you see the time and then chant, sometimes like it's like a person you have in front of you, and then when he's talking to you, or when you are with him, you are every time seeing that time. How will he feel? He feels that this person is not interested in me, right? He wants to do something else. Okay, so that's how Lord also uh, feels. So I'm not saying that we should actually completely forget the time and then do continue chanting. I'm saying that we should try to fix sometimes. Say for example, now in Japa, in our Japa session, we have a time of 5:45 to 6:30. So at that time, we should completely dedicate ourselves that okay, this time is dedicated for my chanting. So I will chant all the 6 rounds without watching the time, and then completely do my 6 rounds without getting disturbed from my time, or without getting disturbed from my smartphone, or things like this. So this is how like we can increase our taste towards chanting. So I said salt is the one important thing that is required for uh, making the boga, or making the food very tasteful. Similarly, the japa also can become tasteful when we add this salt. So S stands for sacred space. A is accepting and being aware of our weakness. L is listening to the mantra, and T is the time. With this, I will stop in the interest of time. Thank you for your patiently listening. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.